Hi, what's going on, some of you? Tyler, Bridgewater's second best on YouTube, Flickmatic Tyler on X, formerly known as Twitter. And today is a special day. It's my first ever vlog. Yeah, I'm getting into the vlog game. But on top of that, I'm going to Justin's right now to film the third annual mid-year Justin and Tyler Movie Awards. This is big news, guys. You know? But I thought I'd swing by the old theater, which recently went under. Sorry, I stumbled a bit there. I wanted to show my respects. So I'm walking by on my way to Justin's. Wait a second. Whoa, guys. Is that Justin? What's he doing, guys? Man, what are you doing here? I'm trying to film a vlog. Can you believe this, guys? Aren't we filming the mid-years today?
What's the point? I mean, like, what's the point of anything? It's gone. It was here and it's gone now. Were we supposed to, like, everybody says things are getting better and just, there's so many things I wanted to say. I gotta sit down.
This is crazy, guys.
I mean, I stole a car. Not even going to be able to see Dune 3 here.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Tell you all about it when I see you again.
Man, it's gonna be okay. Are you gonna be okay?
I think so. I've got my comfort food. I've got my emotional support, Tyler. I shall persevere. I don't want to do my normal intro because you made fun of me.
I have ruined it. A new Bridgewater's finest era has begun.
But you know what? I said I was going to persevere, so damn it, I'm going to persevere. What's happening, everybody? It's Justin, it's Tyler, and it is the third annual mid-year Justin and Tyler Movie Awards for the year of 2024. It is early in June, even though we didn't necessarily put that at the beginning of I think this is the first time in 3 years we haven't put, like, in June at the beginning of the video. It's the mid-year movie awards time, the best of 2024 in films so far, and of course, as you saw in the opening ceremony, we pay homage to the closure of our local Cineplex movie theater, which sadly has rest in power, King. It's unfortunately gone. And that is, of course, sad, but the movie awards roll on. The movies don't stop just because that building's not there. And we're about to bring you our best for the year of 2024 so far. So before we get into the actual mid-year awards for 2024, of course, in homage to the closure of our theater, we thought we would take the first bit of the video and just kind of talk about some of our favorite memories that took place at that. I mean, that theater was there for almost 20 years. So, I mean, there's you can make a lot of memories in 20 years, even in brief periods of time. So we thought we would take a little time and talk about some of our favorite memories and everything that kind of took place in and around the movie theater. I'm going to let you start us up.
All right, and these aren't necessarily involving both of us together all the time. I'm assuming you have ones that don't involve me. I tried a smoothie for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I was at the theater with my ex. And I was kind of like, I wonder if those orange smoothies are good. And she was like, I'll get you one. And she did. I love smoothies now.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
It started a smoothie love. So that's a simple one just to start her off.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I had no idea. I would have thought you would have had like a Tim Hortons smoothie or something before that. Oh, wow.
I don't remember if it was the first time I ever had like a good pretzel. I never thought about this. It might have actually been the first time I ever had those types of pretzels too, actually. Right. But I'm not sure about that one. But smoothie for sure. I never tried a smoothie before.
So we're both going to kick off with something about food.
Yes!
So this past year, I took a trip to Portugal, first time going overseas. And when I came back, the first time I went to the theater, which was literally, I think, like the day after I got back. It was like,
I missed you, baby!
He's like, it's been 11 days, I have to go see a movie. I walked in, and all of a sudden, they were selling beer.
They sold beer?
Yeah. So like for the last little bit, all the Cineplexes have started selling alcohol. You can only take, I think, like one per person or whatever, and there's weird rules because, of course, if they employ people who are under 19, they can get them, but they can't open them, and there's things they can and can't do. But I just remember walking in and being like, I left for a week and a half, and all of a sudden you're a liquor store now.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Absolutely, yeah. It was so funny. We both start off with something about food. That's really funny.
That's us.
That seems par for the course. What I will say too, while he's kind of looking, is I would be remiss if I didn't say, like, look, that theater formed the continuing crux of one of my longest friendships ever that's not him. And that's between me and my friend Sarah. And, like, Sarah and I have been movie buddies dating back to, like, oh my God, like, since I left high school. So we're talking, like, 20 years. Sarah and I have been going to movies, and at that theater has been the vast, maybe all of them, but the vast majority of them have been us going to that theater. So it's been a lot of memories with one of my longest friends, and that's obviously been a really special friendship to me my whole life. And I really appreciate that Sarah was always that person that was like, I'm down for a movie. Like that's and again, that's basically everything that we've ever done as friends is let's go see a movie, and it's been really special to me over a long period of time.
And now you're not friends anymore.
And now now we wouldn't recognize each other in the street. No, that's a joke.
I'm ruining the moment.
Exactly. Love you, Sarah.
Speaking of friends, my next memory is Unfriended. Going to see Unfriended.
Ooh, okay.
This is a great memory because him and we went, and the owner or the manager or whatever at the time came up to us like, boys, what you seeing tonight? And we're like, Unfriended? And he kind of, oh yeah, okay. Then he goes away. He comes back with 2 movie tickets. Here you go, it's on me.
Yes, that's right.
And so then we get in. We were the only 2, so they made no money on the movie. And then what made it even better was like, Jocelyn was kind of laughing. You were laughing during it. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. I was like, oh, he hates this movie, right? And then we come out of it, and I'm like, did you love that as much as I did? Because I was scared that he hated it, and I was super into it. And he loved it.
No.
And then we had a consensus at the movie awards during the Miscellaneous because of Unfriended.
That's right, we did.
On top of that, which I forgot about until right this second. I don't know, it's just a good memory. It's a memory that I tell people.
Right.
Even though they don't care.
And I think, like, we would have loved that movie regardless, but there was a little extra something in the special sauce that Ted was literally just like, here you go, boys.
Yeah.
It's on me. It's like, oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, like, I guess you could call it, like, formative movie watching experiences. There were two of them that both took place with you, and it was Clerks 2 and Rocky Balboa. Seeing both of those movies here and seeing them as, like, in both instances, I vividly remember there was only maybe 6 of us in total in the theater for both of these, and getting to experience like 2 of my favorite movies of all time in what felt like fairly intimate kind of viewing settings, because there was not a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So just kind of getting to experience the movie in like relative quiet, and really getting to immerse yourself in those 2 movies. Those were 2 of the most like emotionally evocative movies that I ever remember watching in theater. So both of those, and both from the same year, funny enough, 2006.
Wow, what a year,
right?
man.
And I mean, like, I'm still going to university at the time and whatever, but like, just like those 2 formative memories of watching those 2 movies. So both of those really, really stood out.
It's funny, I don't remember the Rocky Balboa. I don't doubt that we watched it together. I just don't remember that. But Clerks 2, I do remember. I wrote down in my notes that you were probably going to mention it, so I didn't even bother writing it down.
Yeah.
I knew, that was one I knew was coming. And yeah, it was a great moment. I mean, not much more to add. Just so my next one is seeing a movie by myself. A single movie. I've only seen one movie by myself. It was A Quiet Place. And I sat there, and that was a pretty quiet movie.
It was.
And I remember looking over to the side after it was over, like, you ready to go? And it's like, oh, wait, it's just me. And the only reason I put it in is because I may never see a movie again by myself.
Right.
Because if I go somewhere, it's going to be Halifax, it's going to be with someone.
Right.
So this might be the only theater movie I ever see by myself. I know you can't relate to that, but for me, A Quiet Place.
Wow.
I'm 1 for 1, though, because that's a classic.
Exactly. You've never seen a crummy movie by yourself.
Nope, never. And I probably never will at the theater.
I won't waste any more time until I put the big one out there. The big one, the biggin. The biggin that's the reason that I'm probably able to talk about movies the way that I do now. And that's the countless post-movie, like, film breakdown sessions, basically, that you and I would have standing out in front of, at the time, Zellers, after movies until, like, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes, featuring cops thinking we're druggies and druggies thinking we're other druggies. Because not one time would go by when either a cop wouldn't slowly drive past us, or somebody would pass by asking if we had a lighter. Like, but just standing out in front of Zellers at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, getting to 1 o'clock in the morning, talking about the movie for longer than the actual movie was. And not just talking about the movie, but talking about everything, right? So all those countless experiences of just hanging out after a movie, talking shop, just chilling. And I mean, we did that for years. For literal years, every time we went to see a movie, it was, again, just like these hours long just chat sessions, just hanging out like Jay and Silent Bob, except neither of us were silent.
Off camera, I said that the most important memory I have involved him, and that was the one. So we'll just keep talking about it, and then I'll go on to mine. But yeah, I mean, I've seen a gazillion movies by myself, but I still prefer seeing them with you and having those conversations. It was really important to me. Like, you always give me so much credit of like I can't remember how you worded it, of like you saying like that, like basically grabbed you, like, you're gonna talk about movies like I do, but you have the same effect on me. Like, this is why the movie awards is good, because we can bounce off of each other and look at a movie in a different way, and we this what we're doing now started with that.
Yes, that was 100% the foundation of this.
Right. So, and now we really only have this, but now we'll just appreciate this even more than we already do.
We enjoy this, in case you couldn't tell.
They can't even see how much we enjoy this, because they don't see what goes on in our heads throughout the rest of the year.
It's true.
this is a short one because it doesn't involve Justin, but my first Star Wars movie in theaters. Because I'm a late bloomer to Star Wars. I still don't consider myself a gigantic Star Wars fan, but I had never seen a Star Wars movie. I played some games and whatnot until the Force Awakens. And I plowed through all the previous movies that year on video. And I just went with some friends, and it was the energy of Star Wars, especially like the Force Awakens, before the fan base kind of started to turn more.
Before it started eating each other.
And it started to get really corrupted and toxic. I mean, all fan bases are toxic. I'm not saying Star Wars is unique.
Right.
There's some toxicity in every fan base, but just the energy. I remember it starts, and people are like, "Woo!" It's like nothing has happened.
There's text crawling on the screen, and you guys are cheering like Stone Cold Steve Austin just came out.
But it really was the single most electric movie experience I've ever been a part of. Even if I didn't feel it quite the same way as everyone else did, because you assume that they were all massive Star Wars fans, and I liked it. There's some I love, but I don't have that, like, you know, I feel more when there's like a new Rocky movie or something, like, but yeah, I'm never gonna forget this memory. So
there are certain movie franchises I find that, like, the vibration in the room just picks up when the movie starts. Star Wars is definitely one of them. Lord of the Rings, I thought, was one of them. Harry Potter is definitely one of them too. There's like, as it starts, you just kind of feel the energy in the room pick up. I think Star Wars may be like the best example of that.
Actually, can I stay on this topic and go with the second one? Okay. So for me, though, you mentioned some franchises. I don't like Lord of the Rings. No, but you mentioned some franchises. My next memory is seeing Marvel movies. See, Marvel movies, I should say, are where I feel that opening bit with the theme, although they don't play it as much anymore, like the epic Marvel theme. They don't play that, and the opening animation or whatever of that, that still excites me so much when I hear that specific song. It's just kind of like hearing the movie awards. And Infinity War especially. The silence after Infinity War ended was deafening.
It was. Absolutely. It was that was oh my God, what just happened?
Yeah.
This is going to be a real quick one, but it harkens back to my teaching days, which were very brief. But when I was doing my practice teaching with a teacher that we had in high school, Madame Bergeron, we got the opportunity to take a group of grade 11 and grade 12 students to go see the movie Passchendaele. So this was I want to say it was 2011, maybe? I think was when Passchendaele came out. I can't remember the exact date now, but yeah, we got to take or 2008, I guess it was. We got to take a big group of kids to go see Passchendaele. I enjoyed that movie quite a bit. Obviously, a ton of Canadian content in there. And it was a very cool memory to get to kind of take this big group and have this whole group experience the same movie at the same time. And if I could just do one more, because there's another one that doesn't involve you, but it does involve a friend of ours who's also named Tyler.
I don't have any other friends, so this is a lie.
So we went to see, I don't even remember what movie it was now. I've lost the movie, but it was a horror movie. I remember that much. That would have had like either like an NC-17 or just like a rating such that younger people should not. It might have even been an R-rated movie. But in front of us sat a collection of maybe half a dozen younger kids who would have been like, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that, who clearly should not have been there. So what had happened, because we got the story afterwards, because I was like, this is too good. What had happened was they bought a ticket to another movie and then snuck in over to go to this one. And before the movie starts, an usher comes in, checks their tickets.
I remember this.
Like they were of one mind, they all stand up. And they're all ushered out of the theater. But I can't remember now, even if it was me or Tyler. One of us. Maybe it was Tyler.
It sounds like a Tyler.
It does. I mean, I think maybe it was Tyler. He goes, "Enjoy Shark Tale, kiddies," because Shark Tale, that might have even been the tickets that they had bought. And one of them just was like, screw it. Like, one of them clocked that he said it, but just to say, "Enjoy Shark Tale, kiddies." And just like 7 or 8 of them just ushered out of an R-rated movie. It was so funny.
Yeah, okay. Neither of these were on mine, but we're on the topic of Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
So before I really started going to movies with you all the time, I actually went to movies with Tyler a lot.
Yeah, I
paid for him a lot. So I gotta throw that, because he did go to quite a few movies with me when I first started to kind of seriously get into movies. So seeing movies with Tyler was just fun, because Tyler's a good dude.
Yeah.
But also part of my growth too. Led me to this, ultimately. And then the other thing you reminded me, I got ID'd twice going to Saw 2. Like once, okay.
Sure.
You know, I'm 20-some, I look younger, I get it. I got ID'd a second time when I was about to go in, and I'm like, and you have popcorn and stuff with them, you're like, seriously?
Like, what do I have to...
So...
Because that would have been like pre-facial hair other than mustache, right?
No?
No?
Well, that's if I hadn't shaved.
Right, fair enough.
But it wasn't a conscious effort to have a mustache.
True, fair enough.
This is just another short one. This is just kind of funny, but Shrek 2. You had mentioned this before while we were talking, but I had it written down too, so maybe I took this from you in some way, I don't know. But Shrek 2 was there when the theater opened.
Yep.
Shrek 2 was there when...
the theater closed.
That's it. That's all it is. I haven't even seen Shrek 2.
Nope. So, Shrek 2 celebrated its 20th anniversary. It opened that theater, was there for like the first 6 months that the theater
Oh, yeah, I forgot that part, yeah.
And then it was there when that theater closed down because they brought in the 20th anniversary.
It's kind of beautiful.
It's kind of poetic. It is. It's in a really weird way. It's kind of poetic.
Shrek was there like the Grim Reaper, waiting to see it to the afterlife.
That movie theater was also the location where I first distinguished the difference between what I call good horror and bad horror.
Okay.
And that was distinguished at a very specific time when both the original Saw and The Grudge were in theaters
at the
same time.
Oh my God, yes.
So that just reflected the difference between like deep psychological horror and cheap jump scare. Right? It is right there, perfectly encapsulated with 2 movies in the same theater at the same time. And the jump scare crowd can go see The Grudge and probably have a good time. And the creepy psychological horror people can go see Saw and have a good time. And that's where I first distinguished, like, wow, I would really much rather go see this. And when I watched them both, I'm like, yep, I'm in this lane.
Yeah.
I am fully in this lane here.
I think Saw 1 is one of the great horror movies.
100%.
At least of the 2000s, but I think of all time. I adore the first. You know, even though it has some flaws in like the acting and whatnot.
I'm sure if we watched, I don't know the last time you watched that movie, but I'm sure if I watched it again today, I'd be like, this doesn't hit me the same way.
It's still, I watched it, I mean, not recently or anything, but over the last, like, probably decade. The acting isn't amazing.
No.
But I also didn't care, like, at all, because I think that movie is fantastic.
Right.
So we're filming this in June, in Pride Month. So in honor of Pride Month, I'm going to tell you a gay experience I had with this guy. Just waiting in line. The Justin and Tyler story. Okay. Back in 2015, 2 boys, that's us, went to see a movie just because.
Okay.
That movie was The Longest Ride, a romance movie that also had horses. We got there so early that we were told to wait outside. And, you know, that happens, right? We were lining up for a romance movie, and we were the only 2 people there. So it was just 2 boys waiting in line to see this romance movie.
Based off a Nicholas Sparks book.
Yeah, for a moment there, hetero life mates looked an awful lot like homosexual partners. That's all I'm gonna say. You know? But that'll always stick with me, because I remember us just saying, not, you know, I'm not really concerned with someone thinking I'm gay, but you also get up and feel a little awkward about, you're just like, because, you know, romance movies are like chick flicks.
Right.
You know, even though, we both like some romance movies and whatnot.
Of course.
But you do kind of stand there like, man, we're like the only two here waiting in line.
I don't know what would have been worse. The fact that we were the only two there, or that we would have been the first ones in the theater for other people to come in and see that we were the first ones there.
Yeah.
Very quick one here again. I found out in that theater that I am a miracle worker.
Something I've always known.
Right.
But
So, gonna shout out another friend of mine, Caitlin. And that was apparently, because she's not a theater person and hasn't been for a long time. So apparently my ability to get her to go to theatrical movies is like a miracle. That it's just not something that she tends to enjoy doing. And yet I'm pretty sure we did it. I think we were to maybe 4 theatrical movies in a relatively short span of time. And that's from I think she said it had been years and years since she had gone to it. Again, just not her scene. She likes watching movies from home. She likes Netflix. She likes whatever. So it's just not her scene, but the fact that I'm special and I could make it her scene for, you know, a very brief period of time. So, hey, look, I found out I'm a miracle worker, so you can't hate that.
when I was looking over the movies that were released the year the theater opened here, I'm pretty sure The Village was the first movie I ever saw in our theater. Okay. So there's nothing really great to say. It's just, I went to see The Village. It was the first movie I saw. You know, so that's kind of...
Oh gosh, I should have done that. I didn't actually look at 2004 movies and figure out which one...
Yeah, because I remember seeing The Village in theater, and it did stick out with me, and I was like, was it the first one I saw? And I think it was.
And I think where I'm going to end off on this is my experience going to see the movie The Hunt.
Okay.
Not a movie that I loved. I think a movie that maybe I would appreciate a little more if I watched it again now. Because I think I'd watch it with a bit of a different lens. But watching The Hunt was literally the final act of normalcy before the world ended.
Oh, yeah.
We went and saw The Hunt on March 16th of 2020. And we joked as we were leaving, boy, I hope we get to come see something next week.
Oh, that's too sad.
It's sad. It's a sad joke. It's not funny. It's a sad joke. Literally the next day is when I get the phone call from work. Oh, we're going to close for 2 weeks. Cool. I didn't go back to work for 3 months, 4 months. It was literally the final act of normalcy before everything shut down.
Yeah. You talked about the horrors of the world with COVID. My final memory is with Paranormal Activity in theater. And it was because when the ending happened and the guy goes, wah, towards the camera, there was a girl a bunch of rows ahead who started screeching.
Yes.
Just the most terrified woman I've ever seen or heard in my life. Like, honestly, that was a point where the crowd made it so much better because of that one girl just being so... I mean, it was a scary scene because you're watching nothing, essentially, like the bedroom cam, and then from the darkness of the doorway, shwoop. And so it got me because I was like, oh, geez. But then just...
So did we see that together?
I don't, if you remember it, then we did, but I assume we probably did.
So I think I saw that movie in theaters twice.
You must have, because I think we saw it together.
Because I think there was this... Because I vividly remember an experience with that movie where someone got up and ran out of the theater.
Did she get up and run? I don't know if she got up and ran.
I don't think so.
So you got two cool experiences.
I think I got that, and I think maybe Sarah and I went to see it. I remember someone getting up and running out of the theater.
That might be one of the most effective jump scares, I'll say again, of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Honestly, because that jump scare was terrifying.
Yeah, it was really good.
Really, really good. Anyway, so yeah, Paranormal Activity. That poor girl. I hope you're okay. If you're watching this, let me know.
Right.
In the comments below.
Let us know.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, God. And there you have it, folks. That's just some of our favorite memories from our local theater, 2004 to 2024. Bon voyage, Cineplex, and screw you for closing our theater.